Hey, yo, what up, though, family? Listen, you're listening to the Living Purpose podcast. So, on the podcast, you already know you got your host. We got Cornelius, the CEO, right there at the bottom for me. I don't know where he is for you, but he at the bottom of the camera for me. And then over to, I guess it's my left over here. Then we got Why Be Normal When You Could Be Extraordinary, my guy, Logan Taylor. And then, of course, you got me, Brad Butler the second. They call me B-Rat Inspires. It is what it is. Now, I know we're missing our fourth. We're missing Demont, Mr. Purpose Over Pointless Excuses Day. Yeah, we're missing him today. But it's because he has some stuff he needed to take care of. So we always make sure that, hey, listen, the business aspect of things comes second to any pertinent information in business that you need to take care of first. So you take care of that first, then you can always get back with us. We get back to rocking and rolling. So he's not gone. Of course not. He's our brother. But he just has some stuff he needs to take care of. So you'll be out here overreacting. All right. So with that being said, we're going to go ahead and jump into the podcast. I just want to have some candid conversations with my brothers on here. So y'all already laughing and acting goofy already. I can tell. Like, it's y'all a problem. Y'all see, on the podcast, y'all think it's me. Y'all think I'm the problem child. It's not. I promise you it's not. It's them. It's them right here. These are the ones that be acting up behind the scenes. I be trying to keep it together, run the point guard, keep everything in line. They want to dunk on everybody. I'm just saying. But listen, so let's start it off like this. How are y'all feeling this week? How are y'all doing? What's on your minds? Like, what's going on with y'all? Lo, what's up?
Hey man, Corn, you ever notice, bro? He
Here you
always
go.
put the blame on one of us.
Quick too. Quick, right out the gate.
Bro, he's supposed to be the point guard, bro. He's supposed to take the charge, bro. He's supposed to pass the ball, bro. That's his job, bro. You see how he
Yeah,
do us?
yeah, but he want to be the shooting guard though.
Yeah, bro. That's my job. You see what I'm saying, bro? Like, man, it be your own people, bro. I swear, man.
Be
Yeah.
like, I'm tired of passing the ball. I want to shoot too.
Yeah, see what I'm saying? Logan, come set this pick. That ain't my job, bro. God be man. Trying to tell you. But no, man. Bro, keep it a buck with you, man. Listen, bro. Like mentally, I'm probably at like I'm gonna say an 8. Mentally, I'm at an 8. Physically, bro, like my body, bro, I ain't gonna lie. Man, I'm probably at like a 3 or 4. Yesterday, or this past weekend, better yet, um, it was a lot, like being on the road and stuff. Had to take my son to an AAU tryout. And so we had to try out for an AAU team on the other side of the state because we got an invitation. And so we had to do that and was there all day, man. And then getting back on the road to get home. And so didn't get home to probably almost 1 o'clock. Um, and then I just had some time to myself, man, just to reflect for the day, decompress. And so I didn't go to sleep till, early morning, late morning. And yeah. And so I'm just trying to, catch up from that. But other than that, man, like I'm grateful, bro. You know what I'm saying? We back on the road this week. We're actually gonna be in 2 cities in 3 days. And I'm just grateful. But other than that, bro, I'm well, I'm alive. Kids are good, you know what I'm saying? Family good. Um, so yeah, I'm just grateful.
All right.
Oh,
Yo, man, I'm just taking a break. I ain't gonna lie to you. Like, like we just drove up to San Antonio, like right outside San Antonio, between New Braunfels and San Antonio. My in-laws moved up here, so my wife was like, "Man, I want to go see my parents." I'm like, "Well, let's go. Like, if you need that reset, I mean, I can use it." So, yeah, man. So we just drove up here Friday night, and we just kind of been hanging out, bro. Just being at peace, spending time with family, barbecuing, all the good stuff. So just recharged our batteries. We'll be headed back to Dallas today, about a 4-hour drive, but man, I'm recharged, ready to attack the week. But then tomorrow I got to drive and go pick up my oldest daughter, another 4-hour round trip. But yeah, she on spring break, so I'm gonna get to hang out with her and let her, kind of travel and do some stuff with me. So it's gonna be a good week.
Oh, that's dope, bro. And that 4 hour drive, that's not too bad.
Nah, ain't too bad. I mean, it's 4 hours here Friday, then 4 hours back today to Dallas, and then it'll be another 4-hour round trip. So it's about a 5-hour round trip. It's like 2.5 hours to go get her, 2.5 hours back on Monday.
Oh, okay,
So,
yeah, that really ain't that bad then.
yeah. So it'd
Okay.
be a little bit of driving over the next 2 days,
Yeah.
about 9 hours.
Yeah. Now me on the other hand, we're getting toward what today's the 12th, so we're getting closer to the end of the month, and I knew toward the end of the month my schedule was going to start to pick up, and it was already pretty busy, and now it's gotten even busier because I added like 2 more engagements to my schedule. So yeah, man, like my wife was looking at my schedule and she was like, yeah, that like this is about to happen again, isn't it? And I'm like, yeah, yes, ma'am, it is. It is. I'm about to be on these flights. I'm about to be going back and forth. I'm about to be driving. All that. It's about to get crazy. So yeah, as far as travel and all that, I know I got to fly out to Oregon, and that flight in itself, including a layover, is probably gonna be like 9 hours. So that's gonna be, yeah, I mean, obviously you don't want to have to deal with that much travel, but it is what it is, and time difference and all that too. But yeah, we're gonna do what we gotta do. People, I gotta speak for. It's a big conference that I gotta do. Then next week is another situation I gotta do as well. That's another big event. But this week was fine. I spent actually a lot of time with the family. We chilled, relaxed. Unfortunately, the baby had like a little stuffy nose or whatever, so it's been a little bit hard for him to drink and eat. But he's getting over it and he's doing better. So we're doing all right. All in all, week has been fine. I really can't complain. So it's good. And shoot, I'm ready to actually get to work on the second half of this month, you know, and get everything taken care of and move on to the next month because it's just gonna be new challenges next month. So here we go. So yeah, with that being said, what's been on your minds? Anything like pertinent that's like the top of your mind and sticking out? That's like, oh man, this is something that's been kind of heavy on my heart. Something that's been on my mind. Something I want to talk about.
I'll let Corn go, and then I'll what I'm saying, give my thoughts.
Well, at the present time, this sun is coming over these clouds. Hit me like smack that right in the face. So I'm like,
I can see that.
yeah. So yeah, but it's good, peaceful, nice little backyard. So, but yeah, man, what's on my mind? So Q1 is coming to a close.
Mm-hmm.
So Q2, we did well in Q1, but Q2 coming up, and it's fun. It's gonna be fun, right? But it's moving into like a volatile time for our industry because schools are getting ready to close out. At the end of budgets, things of that nature. But now it's like time to prepare for Q3, right? And so like the thing that I'm thinking about the most is preparation, right? We're trying to prepare for that next phase. In Q3, we should be able to really dominate. So I say, for anybody out there that's looking at this thing, don't just play in the quarter you in. Forecast. Let's try to get out there and create some momentum. And so, when a lot of times we try to do so much where we in the place that we in that we don't actually think about the future very much, and that's what gets us in trouble. So, like, that's the main focus on where we at right now is forecasting, trying to make sure we budgeting in for the future. So that's where we at right now, man. I'm just thinking about driving the car.
I get it. Yeah, Corn always come up with like when you ask Corn a question, 9 times out of 10 he coming up with some type of strategy. Like he already has it like, in his mind to think of a way to solve the problem with a strategy. So that's why we love him. Lo, anything on the top of your mind?
Um, Man, just really just I had to catch myself the other day, man. I had to catch myself the other day with like the imposter syndrome. You know what I'm saying? And I didn't like I didn't call anybody. I didn't pick up the phone. You know what I'm saying? Like I didn't do anything like that. I just really kind of just sat in it to just like figure out like why I feel like this. You know what I'm saying? Like why why am I having this imposter syndrome? Like, why am I feeling like, you know, I'm not deserving of success, or you know what I'm saying, or anything like that. Like Corn was talking about Q1, and for me, Q1, bro, was well. Like it was really well. Q1 was really well. You know what I'm saying? Especially the month of February. Um, but it's just like, sometimes, bro, and I know it's just me just getting in my head, but it's like sometimes, man, I be having that imposter syndrome sometimes. I really do. Because I'm like, yo, like, bro, like why me? Or like there's people that, I wanted to bring with me, you know what I'm saying? And they not here. Right. And I was just, just in my head, bro. And I got to, talking to my therapist and writing in my journal and stuff. And I was just like, bro, like, why do I feel like that? You know what I'm saying? And we got to talking, and he was like, Logan, like, what are you scared of? And I was like, honestly, I said, I'm scared of success. And so I kind of realized that's where my imposter syndrome was coming from, was because it was like, what I realized, bro, is like, I'm gonna use you for example, B. Like, bro, you did 5, maybe 6 months, right? In the amount that you made, bro, like bonkers. Like,
I mean, you could say it because it don't even matter. They didn't already Jeremy and them done
oh,
already put it out
okay,
there.
cool. Well, bro, making 70,000 in 5 or 6 months, right? Bonkers. You know what I'm saying? We see Chris made 6 figures, bro, last month. In a month, right? And here I am. Don't get me wrong, like I did well. Like I wasn't close to you all, you know what I'm saying? But I did well for the position that I'm in and where I'm at. And I mean, I tell it. I mean, I made 20,000 last month. And
Okay,
so
yeah, yeah.
for me, it's like legally, right? I ain't talking about
Right.
illegally. Like legally, you know what I'm saying? Like I was like, bro, this is really obtainable. Like when I sat down, you know what I'm saying, with my accountant, I sat down, we did the numbers and stuff. I was like, bro, like this was really obtainable. Like, wow, like, wait, like I really did that. Because I didn't calculate, you know what I'm saying, everything. And I didn't put everything together. And like I'm always like, okay, good, I accomplished it. Okay, cool. Like back on grind mode. Like, let's get back to it. What's the next thing? And I realized, bro, like sometimes, I got to do a better job at celebrating myself, because I feel like that plays a part of the imposter syndrome. You know what I'm saying? Like I need to do a better job at celebrating the small wins, the big wins, the any kind of wins, bro. Like I really do need to do a better job at that. And for Q2, that's exactly what I'm gonna do. In regards to like just celebrating myself and stuff. But the imposter syndrome, man, like that's where it's at for me.
I feel you, bro. And that's, you're not alone. There's many other people out there. I'm sure there's people who are gonna listen to this podcast and say, "Oh, bro, that's me too." Like I have a fear of success. Like I'm doing the work. I'm diligent. I've honored my craft. I'm not doing dirt. I'm doing it legally, and I'm not undercutting anybody else in order for me to get to what I've gotten to. But somewhere in the back of my mind, I don't know if it's that little boy, little girl, from when you were younger, that somebody told you that, yo, you're not gonna be successful, you can't be successful, you're not good enough, and you start thinking to yourself, I'm only in the position that I'm currently in by mistake or by happenstance. It just happened that way. And like, no, it doesn't. Things don't just happen. Like there's a process. You've gone through certain things that allow you to be in a situation where you've actually earned the opportunities that you have. I tell people all the time, there's two situations that normally happen. Either you earn the opportunity for you to be there, or I tell people this, because I poke and prod. Somebody tell me that they did X, Y, Z. I'm like, all right, cool. How you do it? How did you do it? Now, if you can't tell me how you did it, one, it was either a miracle, a once in a lifetime situation that
Yeah.
happened, and you can't
Yeah.
replicate that. right?
Right.
Because you don't know where you were, what happened, or who was around that made that happen. So you can't replicate that. Or two, somebody gave you an opportunity that you might not have even earned. And if somebody gave you an opportunity, they can easily take it away. So if you don't know how to reverse engineer your success, I have a hard time with those conversations with people because it's like I need to. If you can't walk it step by step through, then what we talking about? Like Cornelius, I know you big on strategy, so somebody can't come to you and say this is how you get this, that, and the other. They can't do the whole, hey, bro, just run the play. They can't do that to you because you're gonna want to know what are the steps to success. What do I have to do first? What do I have to do second? What strategies or what plans or SOPs, things like that, do I have to have in place in order for me to know that this is going to be foolproof, that I know that I'll get the results I'm looking for based on my effort that I place into it. So from what I'm hearing from both of you is like, yo, what connects with someone saying, okay, I need to go back and look at my strategies. I need to figure this out, or I'm not sure about this, that, or the other. And then with you, Logan, saying, hey, man, man, I got this imposter syndrome that I've been dealing with, and I'm not exactly sure of this, that, and the other. Whenever you get into those spaces, whenever you feel that in your mind where you're like, man, I don't know what I'm gonna do for the next season of my business. I'm out of whack. Like this worked in this season, but I don't know if this is gonna work in the next season. Or okay, I was able to make some money at this point in time, but I don't know if I'll be able to continue this and people will continue to like me. If people will continue to honor my craft and believe that I'm worth what I believe that I'm worth, or I think that I'm worth, right? What happens in those moments is you probably should pick up the phone and call somebody. Now, you probably should pick up the phone and talk to like one of your bros, your mentor, your coach, somebody along the line who can actually help you to walk through the emotions and feelings and thoughts that you're dealing with at the time and stop you from going down that path that'll put you in a dark space. Because we all know that one negative thought leads to another negative thought. And before you know it, you done went down a whole rabbit hole of negative thoughts. You stuck in that quicksand and you don't know how to get out of it. You don't even know how you got in it. And you actually are in a good space. Like we've been there before, but like we're in a good space. We looked at our bank accounts and we got thousands of dollars in our bank account, right? Bills are being paid. Our wife is good. Our family is good. Like we don't have anything that's the other form of negativity that would normally hit us like a ton of bricks. Like, oh man, I gotta do this, I gotta do that, I gotta figure this out. You're not even in that space. You got that like survivor's remorse type of situation that you're dealing with, where you're doing well, and then you look around and you see like your cousin that you grew up with, your best friend, or this, that, and the other people that you grew up with, and you like, man, it just don't feel as good without you. Like for me to be here, but we all know everybody can't come along on that ride. And when you have those moments, bro, that's you gotta pick up the phone. You gotta talk to somebody. Because if you got yourself, all right, if you got yourself in that situation, chances are you're gonna need a little bit of help to get yourself out of it. Because you already just you keep going and going and going. The thoughts and the ideas and the imagination becomes more elaborate about you coming up with thoughts in your mind about how you're gonna be bankrupt and broke, you know what I mean, in the next 2 weeks. It's like, bro, that's not what's going on. But yo, Corn, how do you feel about that? Like when you get in one of those spaces in your mind when you feel like, yo, you gotta pick up the phone, you gotta call somebody.
Yeah, well, I think that I think Logan's in the best type of imposter syndrome. Like there's levels to it, right? And because I've seen people that got imposter syndrome, and it ain't nothing positive about it. It ain't, bro. I'm telling you, it's destroying them, right?
Talk about it. Talk about it.
Yeah, explain
Logan,
that. Break that down.
Logan talking about like, you know, his imposter syndrome is like based on like him being afraid of success, him starting to scratch success, and then like, dang, like, bro, do I really deserve this? Like most people, imposter syndrome is like the opposite. They trying to trick themselves into believing that they this uber successful person, and they check the check, right? They have really no strategy in place to even combat that. Logan's imposter syndrome comes with a therapist. Logan's imposter syndrome comes with three brothers that he can count on at any given time, right? So like, I say he has the best type of imposter syndrome. If you was gonna have imposter syndrome, this is the one that you want. This is when you start scratching certain, you know, the surface of success, and then you start to like, dang, like you start to pull back just because you don't know what it feels like to go to that level, and what it's gonna feel like for your family and the people that's been watching you and counting on you, or the people that counted you out, whatever the case may be. You don't know what that's gonna feel like when you go there. So I think that's the absolute best case scenario, like when it comes to imposter syndrome. But I'm telling you, like there's some people out there that's because we live in this social media world. Like we can fake it till we make it. You know what I'm saying? We can keep putting it out and have imposter syndrome and never touch success. We can go sit in somebody else's whip and act like it's ours and never be able to own the vehicle. We never be able to actually drive the vehicle. Hey, you can sit in my car, but don't touch the key. You know what I'm saying? Don't crank it up. Don't take it around the block. And a lot of people cool with that. Just let me take a picture and make a video with this thing, bro. I'm good. Imposter syndrome. So we talking about one that's fruitful, and we talking about one that's absolutely not fruitful. It's never gonna yield any fruit. So I look at it from a different perspective because, like, I know that Logan's on the cuffs of the next level, right? You talking about 20,000 in a month. Like when you think about the survivor's remorse, like 20,000 in a month is phenomenal. But in order for you to be able to help those people you feel bad about leaving, it gotta become 40. It gotta become 100. Because the only way we can truly help, like really be helpful without being hurtful, is to become who we need to become. So we have the resources and the tools to be able to be helpful. Does that make sense? You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
Like
Yeah. I like that. Like he said, you got to become it'll become helpful. You got to learn how to become who you are so it can become helpful before it becomes hurtful. And I think that's important, right? Like when I have those moments of like imposter syndrome, it's like it's always something different, right? Like, oh, I got imposter syndrome because, in some people's eyes, I made it, right? Why the guys that I grew up with, you know what I'm saying, not so much. You know what I mean? But it's like, I don't know, bro. Like, it's just like what I be thinking. Like right now in the season that I'm in, like it was like, oh, I'm scared of success. That's what it is. Like that's why sometimes I let my foot off the gas. You know what I'm saying? Maybe out of the month, if we got 4 weeks in a month, maybe one and a half, maybe close to 2, right? Where I'm letting my foot off the gas because I'm like, oh man, like should I I don't wanna, you know what I'm saying? Like, dang, bro, like I'm kind of feeling guilty, but it's like, no, bro, like that's part of it. You know what I'm saying? Like, me and I mean, we all talk. When me and B-Rad, like when me and B be talking, bro, like he'll say some stuff, and bro, like I'd be like, dang, bro, like bro, say it so confidently, like, yeah, bro, like I just did X, Y, and Z, da 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 da, like yeah, and they gonna pay me this and pay me that and this, and then I just be like, bro, that's what's up, that's cool, like I like that, you know what I'm saying, and then I'm like, oh well, I just got like one engagement, da 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 da. Brad be like, bro, celebrate that. You know what I'm saying? Like, dude, like, bro, that's good. And I'm like, oh, bro, but I still got, you know what I'm saying? I still got work to do. You know what I'm saying? Or me and Corn will talk, and he be using, words, and I'd be like, bro, what that mean? Like, I remember he used to be like, he called me one day, was like, Lo, what's your SOPs? I was like, bro, what? I don't know what none of that mean, bro. Like, I don't, what you talking about? Standing on what? Like, I ain't none of that, bro. I ain't doing none of that, dude. But he was like, nah, bro, your standard operating procedures. I was like, oh, like, mind blown again. And I was like, oh, well, bro, this is what I do. You know what I'm saying? And not realizing that people, another thing too that I'm noticing too is like when people make comments, it's like on social media or when they see me in person, they like, bro, you leading the way, you leading the way. And I'm thinking to myself, like, I'm not leading the way. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm not, like there's a gap right now, of course, but I'm like, nah, like I'm not, nah, I don't see it like that. Not realizing that in actuality, I really am. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm noticing that a lot of people are mimicking what I do. You know what I'm saying? A lot of people see the videos and they see the traveling and stuff, and they like, oh man, like, bro, I gotta do it the way Logan do it. Like, people be DMing me all the time. Me and Brad talked about that a few months back. Like, bro, you be getting random messages from people. Oh yeah, bro, I wanna, yeah, bro, can you coach me? Brad be like, all right, it's $200. It's 250. Okay, it's $600. He said, I just be throwing out numbers, bro, just to see if they are going to come on and do it. And so for me, bro, it's like, just that whole imposter syndrome and whatnot. And I just be thinking, you know what I'm saying? I just be thinking about that, bro, and just be really like wondering, like, why am I feeling the way that I feel? And so I realized, like, oh man, it's because I'm fearful of success. You know what I'm saying? And I think that's important. But check this out though. Y'all see we got our other brother on here. So we're
Yeah.
gonna bring him in. We're gonna
Right
do
way.
a mental health check.
Yeah.
And then we're gonna get back to, what I'm saying, what we talking about. So, Mr. Pope, if you don't mind, sir, could you introduce yourself to the listeners?
Yeah, you already know, man. For those of you who don't know, you already know it's your big bro, Demont Pope, aka I am Mr. Purpose over pointless excuses. Yeah, I am the fourth part to this fantastic force. You understand me? We wasn't right until we got right. You dig? Now we back right, and I'm on here. All right. So look, man, I'm doing all right, bro. I'm doing very well. On the scale 1 to 10, man, I might be at a as far as how I'm feeling emotionally, and spiritually, bro, I might be still at a 9, bro, like a high 9. And the only reason why it's at a 9, because had some troubling situation. I was out doing what I love doing yesterday. However, my wife couldn't join me because she had death in the family, bro. And so after I finished doing my job, speaking and impacting these young people at a youth conference that I was at, I ended up having to join my family, my wife and her family, at a repast. And bittersweet. It was a good thing because I got a chance to see a lot of faces that I hadn't seen in years. It's just the occasion that brought everybody together. Was a sad occasion, but for the most part, man, I'm still at a 9, a high 9. I would be at a higher 9 had I remembered that the time was going back. You know what I'm saying? But other than that, fellas, in full transparency, y'all know how we do it. We don't hide nothing, man. It's all real, all truth. You know what I mean? This ain't show business. You know what I mean? This is, and for those who got a problem with it, it ain't your business. You dig what I'm saying? So that's what it is with me, man. But I'm feeling good, man. I'm grateful to be on with you guys. I'm grateful to be in the presence of the people, man. Living in purpose, like we do. That's what we do. We live in purpose. That's what we doing here.
All right.
All right.
Listen.
All right.
There you go.
Welcome, young fella.
All right. Yo, Lil Low,
What's
one
up?
thing that you were talking about, our conversations, right? And just yesterday, I saw you posted a video on YouTube, and just being who I am, I looked at the thumbnail, the flyer for it, whatever you like to call it. I saw it and I was like, that's not a good representation of how good he is. I don't like that. That's my brother. So without asking, I didn't ask for his permission. I went and made him a new thumbnail that I felt like was a better representation of how good he is and how he should look to the people. And I just sent it to him. I said, hey, yo, look, I saw the video that you put out. I didn't like the thumbnail, so I made you a new one. Here you go. Use this. And he was just like, what? I was just like, yeah, bro. Like, if you my brother, then you don't ever have to explain stuff to me like that. And if I see that there is a blind spot or a void, my job as your brother is to step in. My job is to step in and add this, that, or the other. Like, I know all three of my bros on here, right? I know that Logan is never really going to talk about himself like that. He ain't really going to put himself out there like, yo, I do this, that, and the other. He's just not going to do it, right? Cornelius, I'm going to have to pull him by his coattail at sometimes, like, Corn, please don't say that. don't say the first thing that comes to your mind. Please, bro. Please, bro. Like, we got to keep a relationship with them. Like, don't. They listen.
That
I
boy.
know it's like I know they said some tomfoolery, but just let it be for now, bro. Nah, bro, because I know Cornelius. Just let it go. And I go to my guy, Demont. They're good. It's time for us to go home. Yes. Okay, they're good. Their families are good. Let's make sure our families are good. We gotta go home, right? And then with me, I'm sure they gotta grab me up sometimes and be like, "Yo, Brad, did you really have to go? Like, did you really have to show off or whatever?" I'm like, sorry.
I'm
Like,
David Ruffin, and these are the
Hey,
Temptations.
B.
That's
Like,
how
hey,
you do
B,
it.
they wasn't no keynote moment right there, B. That was the.
why, bro? Why did you lay fire on them like that? This isn't even our event. Like, my bad. But that's the beauty of knowing your bros and having bros that can hold you accountable.
Yeah.
And you don't take it the wrong way when they come to you and be like, bruh, this was not your moment to show. Like, I'm just using myself as an example in this moment. There are some times like we might step into a spot, step into a situation, and I'm chilling, and maybe people might know who I am from speaking or whatever. So they'll ask me questions and stuff like that. And just being who I am, I don't know how to half step, right? That whole hot and cold water, that's a real thing with me. Like hot and warm. I don't do like the gray area. I don't do lukewarm.
Yeah.
So either I'm not saying nothing at all, or I'm finna go in. Which one you want? Like, it just is what it is. If you don't want my opinion, don't ask, and I won't give it. But if you want it, I'm finna give it, and I'm finna give it full tilt, and I don't care nothing about the other stuff in between. And when that ends up happening, I'm like, yo, you sure? Yep. Go ahead, B-Rat. And and they let me off the leash, and I go. That's when Logan and Cornelius and Demont be like, we got to reel him back in because this wasn't even like our situation, and he set the spot on fire. Now people looking at him like, oh, he came in here and showed us all up, and I'm like, that wasn't even the you mad at the gift that God gave me? I'm sorry. But sometimes I just be like, I'm just not going to speak. I'm just going to sit in the background.
The small dog with the big bite, man. You know
Here
what I
we
mean?
go.
See, hey,
That's him.
Corn, what I say? I told you, bro. Hey, I'm shooting the ball. It's my team.
Hey,
I told you, bro. What I tell you?
My boy with Steve Francis.
Hey, real quick. ISO.
Hey, yo, what they say?
ISO.
Shoot or shoot.
Listen, I'm coming off the pick.
Hey.
Wide open, bro. Coming off the pick, wide open. He's still waving me off. I'm like, bro, I'm here.
He like, nah, I got this. Go on. I'm taking it. I'm driving this one in. I'm taking this one to the hole.
Hey, Corn, double team. Hey, the double team coming and everything. He see the double team coming.
He going right into it. Hey.
Oh boy, hey.
Shooting this shot.
My boy 5'9" playing like he Kobe Bean Bryant.
Listen.
Giving it up.
Mamba mentality dude, for real.
Hey, that's my dude though. I ain't gonna lie, that's my dude. But nah, he said something though. Like he talked about the thumbnail. I was actually driving on the road. I ain't gonna say the speed I was going, but you know, I wasn't supposed to be going at speed, so we'll just say that. But he sent me that thumbnail, and I was like, bro, like what? Like, why? No, for real. No, bro. No. Hear me out, bro. Y'all hear me out. Hear me out.
You got some explaining to do.
I was like, why? That was my initial reaction. Yeah. And when Brad said when he sent it to me, I was like, huh? And I was like, bro, why? But then I thought about it. And I was like, Logan, this isn't about you. Right? This isn't about you. So if someone and when I say this, like a lot of times, bro, we be talking about how people need to be coachable, but sometimes ourselves, bro, we need to be coachable.
That's it, bro.
Right? And I immediately thought, and I was like, huh? And I was just gonna be like, okay, bro, and then just leave it alone. But I was like, nah, like Logan, you need to be coachable. Like you do need to step up your branding and marketing, and you know what I'm saying, in the way it looks and stuff like that. Cause y'all know me, bro. Y'all know me. I'm like simple. All right, cool. That's it. All right, cool. I ain't worried about it no more. Okay, what's the next thing?
Yeah.
Yep.
But nah, be like, bro, this ain't a representation of you. And I'm thinking like, okay, like whatever, bro. Like I ain't tripping. Like I'm still getting these engagements off of it, right? But it was just like, nah, Logan, you need to be coachable. In a moment, it was like it literally clicked. Like 15 seconds, I heard guys say, "Be coachable." I'm like, "Hey, B, like, where you find that at?" That's what I asked him. Hey, bro, where you find that template at? Oh, bro, it's on YouTube. I know. He was like, it's a YouTube thumbnail. I'm like, okay, but where did you find it? He was like, oh, I got Canva Pro. Okay, I got Canva Pro too. Where did you find it? Oh, bro, it's I was like, share the template with me, and we'll, you know what I'm saying, I can go from there. Because what I realized was that, bro, it did look a lot better. It actually looked 20 times better than what I got. Right, the thumbnail look, bro. And when you know somebody's heart, bro, you can accept being coached by them.
Yeah.
When you know their heart. So I know Brad Hart. I know Corn's heart. I know DeMont's heart. And because I know their heart, bro, they can check me out of love. And that's where most people mess up at is that they think like, yo, you can't check me. I'm uncheckable. Like, no, bro. You human just like everybody else. You mess up just like everybody else. And there are some moments where the people that are quote unquote supposed to be your accountability partners or support system, they need to check you. But because your heart not in the right place, you trying to be uncheckable because you think like, oh, I'm the man, I'm doing this, I got this, I'm getting my reps in, I'm doing the work. Hey, Brad, I booked 3 engagements in one day. Hey, Corn, I just sold a $25,000 curriculum. Hey, DeMont, bro, I just came from a youth conference, bro. I just flew from New York. Like, oh, I'm doing my thing. But you still got to be coachable at times.
Yeah.
Because y'all see my blind spots better than I do. And so I realized when Brad did that, like, oh, that's a blind spot for me. So, yep, you're right. I do need to be coachable. Hey, B, I appreciate that, bro. Can you share that template with me? So that way I can start working on it.
Yo, bro, it wasn't even so much about like the blind spot because like I'm cool with the fact that you're consistent and it's not like you put out trash. You know what I'm saying? That's not what it was.
Right.
What it was is my thought process was I see my brother as this. Not that you're not doing well or that you aren't already being consistent and like that's not good enough to for you to get booked and all that because clearly you still getting booked, you still doing your numbers and everything like that. But in my mind's eye, I was like, I see my brother at this level. I see his branding at this level. I see, like, when I see you doing your workshops, I'm like, yo, he out there giving it up. Like, he's doing his thing. Like, he's on another level when it comes to some of these other cats. He literally, you care. Like, you dancing with the kids, you talking to the kids, you spending time with the kids, you hug the kids, you talk to them, figure out what's going on with them, so spend time with them. You doing separate sessions and stuff like that. So if that is the case, then the visualization of you should show that you are a superstar when it comes to that realm. Like, that's just where my mind took me to. It's like, yo, they need to see him the way that I saw him in person. Like, the best I can do as far as a visualization so that they can see who this man really is and how big of a star he is when it comes to doing these workshops and the curriculum and being with the kids and loving on them and his heart being in the right place. It needs to represent that. It needs to exude excellence. So like the flyer that you had was good, right? But I wanted you to look great. I wanted you to see yourself the way that I see you. I wanted you to see yourself the way that we see you. I wanted you to see yourself the way your kids see you. I wanted you to see yourself the way that your significant other sees you, right? I want you to see yourself the way God envisioned you to see yourself.
Brad, you're doing this right now, boy. But you keep going because you're shooting right now. You don't hand them off. Hey, shoot the shot, boy.
So bro, you see
the gun.
You see, he loading the gun, bro, and I'm finna throw him the oop. So, bro, you see me as great, bro?
Of course.
Pull the trigger, B. Pull the trigger.
Oh man, I love you, man.
Love you too, bro. Let's move on.
Yeah. Hey, look. I'm gonna weigh in on that moment. I'm finna make it heavier. And this is why all of a sudden I said Brad was waving us off. He was in his pocket. He was shooting his shot and he was dropping buckets, right?
Right, giving him the ball, bro. He in the corner, bro.
Yeah.
I'm gonna split the pick for you, B. How about that?
Yeah, he ready. Yeah. I'm about to alley-oop him though, and I ain't even good with the basketball. You know what I mean? It's my sons, but I'm finna alley-oop you, B, because I'm sitting here and it started sounding like something very familiar. And I'm like, wait a minute. This sounds like the same conversation I just had a couple of days ago with an associate, with a friend of mine. This guy, he my guy. So he's gonna be doing some work for me on my back end, on my back office, right? Work. And when I shot him the EPK, he was like, bro, similar, except for we had a conversation. He didn't just change it, which he could have, and I would have been fine with it. But it was the same thing. He was like, man, the EPK is good, man. And he was like, I don't really, and I could tell he was trying to say something, but he didn't know how to say it because he didn't know if I was going to be coachable. Because I'm aggressive. Everybody know my personality. I'm rah, but it's like, nah, like Logan said, sometimes you got to be coachable in order to get past where you are. Like yesterday's success was great, but today is supposed to be greater and another chapter and another level. So I'm like, cool, this the EPK I've been using. Like this is what I got. This is what I've been using. I'm getting booked just like you, Logan. Like I'm getting booked now. I'm catching planes and catching flights now. I'm getting checks. I'm doing numbers. So what's wrong? You know what I'm saying? And he was like, bro, I know, I don't want to offend you or whatever, but he was like, bro, I think I'm gonna redo your EPK. And like you, Logan, I'm like, why? You know what I'm saying? Like, wow, it's working. You know what I'm saying?
If it ain't broke, don't fix it.
If it ain't broke, don't fix it. That's what I was thinking, because that's what somebody told me before. But the person that told me that, like, they wasn't an entrepreneur, they wasn't a businessman or a businesswoman, like they wasn't aspiring to go where I'm going, or they hadn't been where I'm already at. You dig what I'm saying? So he was like, see, now where you was at, the people had to meet DeMont Pope. And he was like, now you at the point where I am DeMont Pope. And he was like, this EPK needs to reflect who you are now, not who you were when you first started doing this full time a few years ago. He was like, that EPK needs to represent your full authenticity and who you are today in this moment. So, Brad, I'm alley-ooping it back to you, because what he was telling me was that I want the people, I need the people. The people must see you, not for who you were, but for who you are and who you are going to be in essence. And in other words, the people need to see you the way I see you. But to take it a little bit deeper, Brad, you ready? Here we go. We're going down the court. I need the people to see you the way God sees you.
Oh, facts. Like, yesterday's vision is not today's vision.
There we go.
It's not. So there's been times in the past where, like, okay, you were doing things because that was the best that you could do at the time. That was your glass ceiling. That was the most that you could muster up as far as your effort and your skill set and your belief.
Yeah.
So for some of you, it's like, yo, I did the best that I could. I did this, that, and the other. I pieced this together. I went on Fiverr and had them do X, Y, and Z. Blah, blah, blah. It's like, okay, cool. And now I'm hustling and I'm working. And I'm just like, you ain't even in that season no more.
Right.
You're not there no more. Now you're in a space where people are actually filling out your booking form. People are coming to your website. Yeah. Right? They're giving you testimonials. Like, you got enough content and information that you can put together so that you can have 1, 2, maybe 3 different highlight reels. I'm at that point where it's like all the content that I got, crazy thing. Bruh, when you know you moving in purpose and you know you getting some stuff done, they could take some stuff from you and it's still not enough to stop you from moving. Yo, when I told y'all about that before with my videographers, man, they didn't lose. Someone stole my hard drive. 4 to 5 years worth of my content is gone. I'll never see it again. But it don't even matter because I've been moving ever since then. So you still can't stop me. And I still could put together 3, 4, 5 different highlight reels if I wanted to. How many EPKs y'all want? What EPKs for different genres? What you want? Corporate? What you want? What you want? College? What you want? Middle school and high school? I give you whatever it is you want. I got whatever in the chamber for you. So my thing is, if you're moving the way that you're supposed to be moving, you ain't never got to worry about being out of style. You ain't never got to worry about not having what you need or not being up to date. I've been moving in purpose. I ain't never went backwards. I ain't never fumbled the bag. I ain't never been the type of person where you had to sit me on the bench. You always put me in the game. I was always a starter. Why? Because that's where I belong. I'm supposed to be out there. I'm supposed to get in wreck. I'm supposed to be out there putting up wreck. I'm supposed to be putting 30 on top of your head top. That's what I do. That's what I do.
That's what I do.
That's what I do. So here's the thing, but I don't do it by myself. Anybody who roll with me, they do it too. And they might do it in their own way. But we still out here doing it. So if my man next to me, like he might not do it like Jordan, but he might do it like Dennis Rodman. Okay, my man over here, he might not do it like Dennis Rodman, but he might do it like Scottie Pippen. Okay. Oh, he might not do it like that. He might do it like Steve Kerr. Oh, wait, he might not do it like that. He might actually do it by like the coach with the triangle offense. All right. We all got our areas. We all got our lanes, how we do our own thing. My thing was, if you roll with us, if I care about you, if I got love for you, bro, I'm always going to want to see you in the way that my mind's eye sees you. I'm always going to want to see you the way that God sees you. I want the best for you no matter what. So don't get it misconstrued. Don't think that all this passion and energy that I got is like, it's just what I do for show. No. This is really how I feel about my people. This is really how I feel about my craft. Like, that's why I'm passionate about it. But I promise you, you ask me to get passionate about CRMs or something like that, I promise you, it's like, it's going to be a dud. I ain't got much to say. It's like, all right, just get one and use it, bro. What we talking about? Like, but you ask me about purpose? You ask me about my people, my bros, like how I feel about them and how far I know that we're capable of going together, bro. I got an endless supply of energy for you. That's ordained. That's tapped into the what I want to say that connects with that. That's tapped into the source. That limited supply of energy and passion. That limited supply of resources. That's why it seems the way that it seems. Where it's like he ain't never gonna stop. When he going end, bro? I don't have to. When I'm tapped into the source. I know where it comes from. Now, Corn, I know you had something that you wanted to say, bro. So I'm gonna let you go ahead and get your
get in here, Corn. Get in here, Corn.
Biscuit in.
Hey, listen, my boy going hard.
So, hey, first of all, Corn, I'm mad because it's sunny outside and it's pouring down raining where I'm at. Just want to put that right there.
I'm out in San Antonio. You missed that part, but I'm traveling with the fam. You know what I'm saying? Just kind of hanging out. It's a beautiful day out here. But man, I want to tap into a couple things because, like, I made a post earlier this week, a couple days ago. I said you can acknowledge your reality, but you don't have to accept it. Right?
Don't do it.
Man,
Run it back for the people in the back and a little bit louder for the ones who ain't trying to hear that. How dare you speed past it? Run it back.
Like, you can acknowledge your reality, but you don't got to accept it.
Say it one more time, bro. Say it slow, bro. Oh my God, bro.
Yeah. So you can acknowledge your reality, but you don't have to accept it. And it's twofold because, like, in one part, someone is not what they want to be, right? They working, but they not what they want to be. And then another part is like, bro, we working, we starting to see the results, but we don't have to acknowledge that this is the stopping point, right? We acknowledge where we are, but there's another level to where we're trying to go. And so Brad pointed out one of those levels with Logan, and Logan had the time to realize. He was in realization. First, he was like, dang, was it trash? No, it wasn't trash. But then he stopped and said, hey, be coachable. So he got into realization. So he realized where he was, and he was acknowledging, hey, this is where I'm at now. But Brad saying that I can go to a whole nother level, and if I just make a couple of tweaks, right? So a lot of times we get satisfied, we get comfortable, and we forget that there's levels to the process. You got to go through the steps. One, you got to realize what is, right? That's realization. Two, you got to speak what you rather. Like I know where I'm at, and I realize that, but I would rather be here, so I can set. So that's affirmation. But then the third part is you got to take action, because affirmation without action means nothing. But I want to dive into that because I think that we've been talking about this one quote the entire time, even with Logan talking about having imposter syndrome. You can acknowledge your reality, but you don't have to accept it. Right? And so I think that we kind of been talking about it, and I didn't even hit me until just now. But I think that people really need to dive into it because, like, our belief is the most powerful thing, right? And inside of the word believe is lie, right? Yeah, BELIEVE, lie. So with affirmations, when we practice affirmations, to be honest with you, it's like, okay, I made $1 million this year. Is it real right now? No. But I have to live in the moment of telling myself that's where I am in this moment before it can become true. I have to truly believe it, right? And so the question becomes, like, what lie are you telling yourself enough to where you start to believe it?
Jeez. Wait, man, hold up. I'm looking for something to throw at you right now. I think I was trying to throw something at y'all last episode. You know what I'm saying? But for some reason I'm gonna start putting something up here to throw at y'all, bro. Because, bro, don't do that, bro.
No,
Bro, you just let a Mack truck in our chest, bro.
Do that, bro.
You feel me?
Corn, I choose violence, so do it. Do it, bro. Corn, do it, bro.
I'm throwing stuff next episode. I'm telling you, I'm gonna be prepared because I was
Corn. Yeah. Choose violence, bro. Choose violence, bro. Do it.
And so, like, man,
peer pressure, bro. Peer pressure. Be your own folk.
When you think about, like, people, like, you know what I'm saying, like, people tell themselves whether it's true or not. People tell themselves things, that person that they tell you a lie, or to think about a lie you had to tell, and then you had to be committed to that lie. Right? Like, we all been there. I don't care, how holy you are. You've had to tell a lie, and then you had to, like, commit to it because it keep coming and keep coming, and then you just you done told it so many times that you believe that that's exactly what happened.
Got to be more careful, boy.
You done convinced yourself that is the truth.
Wow.
So affirmations work in the same way. So if it can be negative, it can also be a positive. You can't get a one-sided coin. If I flip a coin, it gotta have another side to it. A piece of paper. Have you ever seen a one-sided piece of paper? You can't have it, right? So
you can't have it.
You can't have it. It's nothing is one-sided. So if I can tell a lie so many times that it becomes the truth in my mind, I can say an affirmation, bro, I make $30,000 a month. I make $30,000 a month. I make $30,000 a month. I'm going to look up and I'm going to be making $30,000 a month. The lie, what lie are you telling yourself? What are you believing? Because we just discussed that believe has the word lie in the root of it. So what lie are you telling yourself over and over again? And then what are you acknowledging? Like, where are you at right now? The realization. You need to realize where you are, and then you need to speak what you rather, which becomes an affirmation. And then you need to take action. But I just want people to understand that they can go wherever they want to go from here. You got to be coachable.
Yeah.
You got, you know what I'm saying? You got to be able to speak truth to your life, which first starts with maybe a lie. Right? But if you lying to yourself in a positive light and you willing to put the commitment behind it, you can end up wherever you want to go.
Come on,
like Elon Musk came up with something that didn't exist. He said, I believe that this right here can exist, and I believe that this is the next phase of life. Everybody looked at him like he was crazy. But that was the lie he told himself. This exists. This exists. And now look at him. I mean, he's one of the richest men in the world because he told himself this lie that he ultimately started to believe. And it became true.
So Corn, now I got questions. Because you just unpacked some heavy stuff. You hit me in the chest with a Mack truck, and Logan told you to do it again, and then you hit me with a semi, right? So it's like the truck got bigger. So you told us that we can acknowledge it, but we don't have to accept it. And then you just taught us that in the middle, in the center, in the core of the word believe sets the word lie. And you said, what lie are you telling yourself? You have to tell yourself the lie until you believe the lie. Now, and then you also said, after the affirmation, you have to take action, right? All right. So I guess I'm testing my memory here. Now, for those who are watching, for those who are listening, and they might be a little confused, or maybe, you know, they just trying to be funny and be like, well, you guys on here and they telling people to lie. Well, listen, you just not listening the right way. You was listening improperly, because what he's saying, let me translate it in another form that you may be familiar with, for those of y'all who too saved or too holy to understand, like you too spiritual to be relatable. He's basically saying that you have to speak that be not as though it were. You have to speak it into existence. You have to speak the desired result. When he's talking about speaking what you rather, right? Okay, I know that it's pouring down raining at my house, but I'd rather have that sunshine that he has in San Antonio. It's raining in Atlanta. You see what I'm saying? That's my reality, right? But my affirmation is that the sun is shining in my life, right? Like the skies are clear. And then the action part is to act on it. Because faith, y'all, you do your own work. It's in the book that we read, right? The Bible, that's my book that I read. I ain't afraid to say it, right? And in Hebrews, and I'm not talking about my coffee, right? Because my wife always talking about I got to make the coffee. She said it's scripture. She said the word say Hebrews, so I make the coffee, right? So I do what she told me, right? It says in Hebrews 11:1, faith is the substance of things hoped for. So it's substance of things hoped for, right? And the evidence of things not seen. So it's the substance of things that's hoped for, and it's the evidence of things not seen. So how is it substance of things and evidence of things that's hoped for and not seen, which means as we're speaking it, we're speaking that be not as though it were. In order for us to believe it, we have to be, right? And then lie in the middle, right? To tell our mind that our situation is better. Like you dealing with some pain. Like I know you feeling the pain, but you still have to say that I am healed. Like you're dealing with some mental depression and it hurts. And when things come up, it triggers things from the past because of the trauma that you've experienced. And even though you still feeling that pain in this present moment, the affirmation would be, I am healed. I am set free. I am delivered. I am at peace. I am healthy, right? Because faith is substance and the evidence of things hoped for, right? And the evidence of things not seen. So what lie are you telling yourself? When they tell you this, oh, you just like your no good daddy. That's what they said. Are you repeating that lie? When she said you was a deadbeat, not because you not taking care of your kids, but because you don't make the money that she wants you to make. Does it make it true? Are you speaking that over yourself? Basically, what Cornelius is saying, in my interpretation, y'all, is that your words have power. We live in a world that was created with words. The only thing that was so significant, and I told these young people yesterday, the only thing that was so significant, so amazing, so beautiful, right, that he had to put his hands on was you and I. And he created us with his hands. Everything else, he created with a word, because there was no light. And he said, let there be light, right? He said, let there be, right? And then there was, meaning that the spoken word was the affirmation, right? And then when he spoke the word and released the energy connected to the word, the currency and the power and the energy of the word brought into manifestation the very thing that became the evidence of the thing that was hoped for. So, Corn, I want to thank you, man, because you, Brad, Like Logan, like y'all really unpacked some stuff. Like I really wasn't ready for that. Like I jumped on here like, man, I'm behind. I'm trying to catch up because I'm committed to this thing. And I don't care what it looked like showing up halfway through the episode, because now I am the evidence that even if you show up late, there's still enough to get some food on your plate. Now I'm gonna pass the mic to shut up. You know what I mean? I'm gonna let that sit for a minute.
Yeah, man. So finishing it up, I'm just gonna repeat the quote again because I think that it might help somebody. You can acknowledge your reality, but you don't have to accept it. And then the 3 parts to it: realize what is, it's realization. Speak what you rather, affirmation. And then go out and take action, actualization. That's the only way that you can make it real. So 3-part series: realization, affirmation, and actualization. And then you can make whatever you want real. Your life can be whatever you want it to be if you follow the steps.
Listen, fellas,
Thanks.
I don't even know if we can talk after that. What's up, B?
About it.
You got fun?
Nah, that closes it out. That's about it, bro. There ain't nothing more that really can be said with that.
Listen.
And we said earlier, man, like shoot, who's
Yeah.
it? Low said it earlier, man. When we talk about all the different situations and things that all people go through, we all gone through, man. The main thing then, pick up the phone, man.
Yeah.
You need help, pick up the phone.
Tap in.
That's it.
Yeah.
Demont, close us out.
Listen. Y'all already know, man. You just heard powerful words from our brother Cornelius Shackelford, aka Cornelius the CEO. Yeah, right before that was our brother Brad Butler II, aka B-Rad the Great. And then who jumped us off, Logan Taylor, aka YB Normal, when you could be extraordinary. And y'all already know me. I'm your big brother, Demont Pope, aka Mr. Purpose Over Pointless Excuses. Yeah. And you have been tuned in to the Live in Purpose podcast with the Fantastic Force. We'll see y'all next week. Same time, same channel. Yeah.